And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
It's actually an elaborate tunnel.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close to the bed. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man.
I should.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
But I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So, honey, after years of dead silence, Usher is finally spilling the truth, and it's beyond chilling. What the world thought was just a mentorship program hosted by Diddy turns out to be something darker, much darker. We're talking hidden tunnels, creepy surveillance chambers, and a twisted lifestyle no 14-year-old should ever have been dragged into. Y'all, when Usher was only 14, just a kid, he stepped into what was sold as Puffy's Flavor Camp. At the time, everyone thought it was a dream come true, a young rising star learning under one of the biggest names in music. But Usher now says it was a nightmare dressed as mentorship. He didn't walk into a recording studio, he walked into something straight out of a horror movie. That experience, it left scars, emotional, psychological scars that still haunt him to this day.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called.
Went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Years later, when Usher finally opened up about what went down, he described the place with one word: wild. But baby, that wasn't slang for fun or exciting. That was a warning, a low-key cry for help. He wasn't being mentored, he was being exposed. He hinted that what he saw wasn't about hit records or fame. It was about trauma, full-blown trauma. And then came the confirmation, straight from actor Jamie Foxx, who called Diddy's parties by a bone-chilling name: freak-offs. No phones, no rules, just manipulation wrapped in velvet ropes and champagne.
At that time, Puff was the biggest guy in the world. You know, you couldn't even get in his parties. So the way I would get in his parties, I show up with a camera. Like, yo, Puff, you need to document this shit. And he turned around, what's up, Playboy? I said, yeah, let me get that, man. Ain't nobody getting this.
But hold on. That's not even the most shocking part. Usher revealed that beneath Diddy's luxurious LA mansion was an actual tunnel system. Yes, underground, boozing fluorescent lights, no cell service, secret chambers. And inside one of those rooms, Usher said he saw red lighting, leather furniture, surveillance cameras, and disturbing props. 2 masked women just standing there. And then, brace yourself, Diddy leaned in and whispered to him, "This is where I bring the ones I own." Excuse me?
Did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
And it only got worse. Usher said there were more rooms filled with chains, drug paraphernalia like MDMA and benzos, surveillance monitors, and filming equipment. You know what that means, right? These weren't just parties. They were traps, leverage factories, blackmail hubs. And yes, Usher even recalled seeing a video of himself with Kevin Hart recorded in that very mansion. And suddenly, that viral clip where Diddy jokes about gay experiences with Usher, it's not funny anymore. It hits different now. It's disturbing.
He was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes.
And recently, when the Fed stormed Diddy's mansion, Guess what they found? A tunnel under the pool, leading to a hidden grotto. A freaking grotto, y'all. Even Diddy's own lawyer jumped ship the second it all became public. This isn't just wild speculation, it's real. The dots are connecting. The whistleblowers have been trying to warn us for years. Tanya Wallace told TMZ she personally saw underage victims at Diddy's party back in 2018. And actress Davy Chase, she was only 13 when she was allegedly invited to one of Diddy's private after parties.
I was at I believe to be one of P. Diddy's freak-offs. Little people that's not supposed to be there.
You're talking about underage people.
It's a shame.
And now, Ellie Carter's story is back in the spotlight. One of the first to speak out about being trafficked through celebrity tunnels, and guess who she named years ago? Diddy.
Underground tunnels that are under the schools, elementary, junior, and high schools all over the place. They exist everywhere.
He wasn't alone in witnessing it. He wasn't the only one who saw those tunnels, because Jaguar Wright, yes, her, confirmed it. According to multiple sources and Jaguar herself, Diddy's mansion wasn't just wired for surveillance, it was connected, literally, as in underground passageways linking straight to the Playboy mansion. That's right. Diddy's tunnels reportedly led to Hugh Hefner's house. These weren't frat house parties. These were coordinated, invite-only events with high-profile guests and, allegedly, minors. And y'all still think this is just tabloid drama? Well, back in the 70s and 80s, news reports confirmed that the Playboy Mansion had underground tunnels connecting to neighboring homes. And guess who snatched up property nearby? Diddy.
Mansion allegedly has tunnels in the pool area. Now, we don't know for sure if that's real or fake, but what I did find interesting is that his house was only a minute away from the Playboy Mansion.
And here's where it gets even darker, babes. Some sources actually believe one of Diddy's tunnels stretched all the way to Michael Jackson's Neverland estate. Yeah, that Michael Jackson. And remember those eerie scribbled notes MJ once wrote? Help me, don't look at me, look at the guy down the street. People thought he was paranoid. But what if he was pointing fingers? And let's not pretend Diddy was the only one pulling these James Bond stunts. Mark Zuckerberg, yes, Mr. Facebook himself, was recently caught building underground tunnels at his massive Hawaiian compound. And not for storing wine, sis, for escape routes and surveillance protection. This goes way beyond music.
I do have an underground tunnel.
Do you really?
Yeah.
In USA?
Well, I have this ranch in Kauai. Yeah, where there's this whole thing where people were like, there's this whole meme about how people are saying I built this like bunker underground. It's like more of underground storage
Bring
type
it
situation. But yeah, no, it's
Oh wow, Zucky got that bunky. How big is that tunnel? Is your tunnel pretty big, or what's it like?
It's not that big of a tunnel.
And that Diddy mansion? It's a whole horror film set at this point. One viral video from a real estate tour showed the pool area built right above a hidden tunnel entry. Oh, and here's the kicker. Influencer Daniel Mack, you know, the guy who stops rich people and asks, "What do you do for a living?" claiming he saw dozens of baby oil bottles scattered all over the estate. He had to mute the post after receiving legal threats, but people saw it. Screenshots exist. Then came the grand finale, the FBI raid. Not only did agents confirm the tunnels were real, but rumors say they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil. When you've got whistleblowers, celebrities, influencers, and law enforcement all pointing to the same disgusting puzzle pieces, it's not random anymore. It's a pattern. And now a new theory is catching fire, and it's bleaker than anything we've heard so far. Some insiders are claiming the California wildfires that torched celebrity homes, they weren't natural at all. They were a cleanup mission.
Lots about to come out. Another arrest is coming again. Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires too. And then, oops, we don't know how that happened. And then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to trafficking. And then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion or a fire. It wasn't an accident.
One of the first questions, I'll be honest, that I'm going to look at when I look at some of the communities involved is how many of the homeowners were on the P. Diddy list.
Yep. According to some reports, those fires were actually coordinated to destroy tunnels tied to Diddy's estate. Think about it. The flames didn't just hit dry brush. They went straight for high-end homes. Homes of celebs who were rumored to be regulars at Diddy's underground events and who had the nerve to question it. Mel, Didn't mince words, suggesting that the blazes were a cover-up to burn trafficking evidence into ash. Woo.
It's on purpose, which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? Do they want the state empty?
But it doesn't stop there. Allie Carter, the same brave woman who spoke out years ago about being trafficked through elite tunnels, dropped names. She says she recognized faces down there, and not just Diddy's. She named John Travolta, Kathy Griffin, even Robin Williams. What was Robin doing down there? Nobody knows, but she didn't stutter when she said it.
Being present in some of the locations she described.
And just when you think this can't get any more twisted, guess what pops up? Politics. According to multiple tweets in Reddit threads, and you know Reddit doesn't sleep, Diddy's powerful political connections may have helped keep all this filth in the shadow. We're talking delayed search warrants, disappeared documents, strategic silence. Sis, this might go way beyond celeb parties. We're possibly looking at the elite protecting one of their own, a man who allegedly turned his estate into a high-end predator palace. And if those tunnels really were used for trafficking, then burning them down was the fastest way to erase the evidence forever. So now people are asking, why did those flames spread so fast? Why were certain homes reduced to rubble while others stayed untouched? Maybe the fires didn't end the party, but they might have ended the proof. And it all circles back to the man who was just 14 when he walked into that world, Usher, according to his former bodyguard. There's more, way more. Apparently, Diddy once spent a night alone in a hotel suite with young Usher and reportedly brought a bag of sexual tools. That's what the bodyguard said, his own staff member. And after that night, Usher supposedly ended up in the hospital, not because of food poisoning, not because of exhaustion, because of what was done to him.
This rapper and him, they all in the room together. I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I'll let Usher explain that to y'all.
Over the years, Usher's discomfort around Diddy became increasingly visible. In one interview, someone casually asked him if he'd ever send his own kids to the infamous Flavor Camp. Usher laughed nervously and said, "I never would." That moment shattered the PR facade. It was raw.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
But here,
yes, that Justin Bieber, and that connection has aged like spoiled milk. Diddy reportedly spent 48 hours alone with Justin when the kid was just breaking into the industry. And after that, something shifted. Justin became noticeably distant in every public appearance with Diddy. He didn't smile. He avoided eye contact. He physically leaned away whenever Diddy touched his shoulder or got too close.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time.
Right here?
Yeah, this will be yours. So, it's a little dusty, but you know, we'll get the front shot of
Man.
that out. Ready?
Okay.
Okay?
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit now that I am.
That's picture. Yeah.
All right, 16.
I mean, slow down. Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. Then you know, when you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
Remember?
And it's all caught on camera. There are clips showing Justin pulling away, squirming in discomfort, avoiding eye contact while Diddy loomed behind him. Then there's that weird, awkward moment on national TV where Diddy jokes about giving Justin a Lamborghini and says he knows better than to talk about what he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. What is that even supposed to mean? It doesn't take a genius to see the pattern here. First Usher, then Bieber. Both snatched up by Diddy when they were young. Both paraded around as his prize protege. Both now visibly uncomfortable around him. And now, both rumored to be cooperating with federal investigations. If Usher and Justin testify, this won't just just be another Hollywood courtroom drama. It could be the bombshell that blows the lid off a corrupt, sick, well-oiled machine that's been operating in plain sight for decades. We're talking about a potential network involving fame, power, exploitation, and underground tunnels that make Epstein's Island look like a beach day. So now we leave you with the question, fan. What do you think about all of this? Do you believe these tunnels will finally be addressed in court? Or is this just the beginning of something even darker? I'll see you in the next video.